Picture this. You're talking to a woman you like. Maybe it's a date. Maybe it's someone you've been seeing. You say something simple, and she rolls her eyes. Or she throws a sarcastic jab. Or she ignores you while texting someone else. And in that moment, something hits your nervous system. A signal. Not loud, but clear. Disrespect. Now here's the part most men misunderstand. Strength isn't about reacting louder. It isn't about proving dominance. And it definitely isn't about trying to win the moment. Real strength is psychological. It's how you interpret behavior and how you respond without losing yourself. Because strong men understand something most people miss. Disrespect isn't always about anger. Sometimes it's a test. Sometimes it's emotional immaturity. Sometimes it's attention-seeking behavior. And sometimes it's simply someone showing you who they really are. So if you've ever felt confused when a woman disrespects you, you're not crazy, you're not weak. And you're definitely not the only one trying to decode this, because strong men tend to do 7 very specific things in these moments. And once you see them, you'll start noticing these patterns everywhere. 1. They pause instead of reacting. Most men react instantly. A disrespectful comment lands and boom, they snap back, they defend themselves, they escalate. But strong men do something different. They pause, just for a second, because emotional intelligence starts with signal detection. Strong men know that every social interaction has layers. Words are surface level, but underneath that, there's tone, body language, energy. Picture this. She makes a sarcastic comment about you in front of others. The room goes quiet for a split second. A reactive man fires back immediately, but a strong man? He leans back. He lets the moment breathe. Because when you don't react instantly, 2 powerful things happen. You keep control of your emotional bandwidth. You force everyone else to feel the awkwardness of the moment. And suddenly, the disrespect becomes visible. Not just to you, to everyone. That pause is psychological armor. 2. They don't chase approval. Here's a pattern you see everywhere. A woman makes a dismissive comment, and the man immediately tries to win her back. He starts explaining himself, trying to be funnier, trying to prove he's valuable. But here's the uncomfortable truth about attraction dynamics. Approval chasing lowers social value, not because you're weak, but because it signals something subtle. Your self-worth just moved into her hands. Strong men never do this. Instead, they quietly hold their frame. Think of your confidence like a radar system. It scans behavior, but it doesn't panic. It just collects data. So when disrespect shows up, a strong man doesn't rush to fix her perception. He observes. Because someone who respects themselves knows something powerful. Your value doesn't need emergency defense. 3. They call it out calmly. A lot of people think strong men ignore disrespect. Not true. They simply address it without emotional chaos. Picture this. She makes a cutting joke about you in a group. A weak response is silence mixed with resentment. An explosive response is anger, but strong men choose something rare, clarity. They say something simple like, "Hey, that felt a little disrespectful." No aggression, no theatrics, just calm acknowledgement. And psychologically, this does 2 things. First, it establishes a boundary. Second, it tests your character. Because emotionally mature people respond with awareness, they'll say, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that," or they'll adjust. But if she doubles down, now you've learned something important, not about yourself, about her emotional intelligence. 4. They watch patterns, not moments. One moment doesn't define someone. Strong men understand behavioral psychology. People have bad days, bad moods, bad timing, so they don't overreact to a single interaction. Instead, they look for patterns. Think of it like watching someone's emotional operating system. Does she tease playfully but respect you overall? Or does the disrespect show up repeatedly? Little jabs, dismissive comments, subtle put-downs. Strong men know something crucial. Attraction can survive tension, but it cannot survive contempt. Contempt slowly erodes respect, and respect is the oxygen of attraction. Without it, everything else collapses. 5. They don't get pulled into emotional games. Some disrespect isn't accidental. It's strategic. Sometimes people create drama because drama creates attention. Picture this. You're texting someone, everything is normal until suddenly she becomes cold. Short replies, passive-aggressive comments. Now many men panic. They start analyzing every message, trying to fix the mood. But strong men recognize this pattern instantly. It's emotional noise. And instead of getting pulled into the storm, they reduce their energy investment. Less explaining, less chasing. Because attention is social currency, and emotionally intelligent men invest it wisely. If someone consistently turns conversations into psychological tug-of-war, strong men simply step back, not out of anger, but out of self-respect. 6. They maintain their emotional center. Here's something rarely talked about. Disrespect doesn't just affect your thoughts. It hits your nervous system. Your chest tightens. Your mind starts racing. Did she mean that? Am I overreacting? And this is where many men lose themselves. They spiral internally. But strong men have trained a skill that changes everything. Emotional grounding. They remind themselves, you're not broken. You're not overly sensitive. Your brain simply detected a social threat signal, and instead of collapsing into self-doubt, they return to center. Slow breath. Clear thinking. Because confidence isn't about never feeling disrespected. It's about not letting someone else control your emotional state. 7. They're willing to walk away. This is the ultimate signal of strength. The willingness to leave, not dramatically, not with a speech, just quietly recognizing this dynamic isn't healthy. Strong men understand a truth many people resist. Attraction without respect becomes toxic, and staying in that environment slowly damages your self-worth. So when patterns of disrespect keep appearing, strong men don't beg for change. They adjust their presence. Less time, less investment, sometimes no presence at all. And here's the ironic twist. Walking away is often the moment people suddenly respect you more, because boundaries communicate something powerful without words. You don't get unlimited access to me. Closing, here's the deeper truth most people never say out loud. Disrespect is information. It's feedback from the social world. Sometimes it reveals someone else's insecurity. Sometimes it exposes emotional immaturity. And sometimes it simply shows you that two people aren't aligned. But strong men don't collapse when they see this. They observe. They adjust. They protect their emotional bandwidth. Because the strongest position in any relationship isn't control. It's self-respect. And once you develop that, something interesting happens. People start treating you differently, not because you demanded it, but because your behavior quietly communicates a powerful message. You know your worth, and you don't negotiate it.